Hey, sis.
Hey, boo-boo. How you doing?
Happy Tuesday.
Amen.
We got to name these new discussions. Like what?
Well,
we got married at
I
first sight.
named this new discussion of as Jonathan Majors, messy mess.
Yeah. We can start off with that. I mean, last week I said that we were going to talk about shooting your shot. So we can get to that, but we can go over a few current events because some big things happened this weekend, unfortunately, with Jonathan Majors. So, I mean, I'll recap it real quick because I think it was like Saturday night, he and his girlfriend got into an altercation, and it seems like she said he choked her out, slapped her in the face, and he was arrested on the scene. So the news broke on Sunday, but by Sunday afternoon, he was released, of course. His lawyers are saying it was a total fabrication, that they had video evidence, and even more, I think, has come out, and now that she's trying to recant. Now, as far as I know, you can't recant a domestic violence accusation. If it's proved, they're going to go through the process, just like he has to go to court, I think, in like 2 weeks or something. You can't just drop it and say, oh, I don't want a court date or anything like that. It has to actually go through the whole process. What do you think? I was shocked.
Well, I wasn't shocked because,
really?
Again, no, I wasn't shocked. Not because I think that Jonathan Majors is a abuser, but here we are. It's typical. Like, why are we as Black folks surprised that Jonathan Majors got hemmed up? Jonathan Majors, literally, for the past month, maybe month and a half, 2 months, has been deemed. Fire. He's been on fire. He's been on every talk show, Good Morning America, Today Show, Tamron Hall, everything. He has been deemed and crowned the new king of Hollywood. And it's like, me and you aren't associated with that Hollywood life. We don't know what that's like, but we've seen it in much so that when they will get you to a certain level. And then it's like, oh, we got to knock them down. We got to knock him down a couple of britches. And if we got to use his girlfriend for it, we're going to use his girlfriend for it. So here's the thing. I'm going to correct you a little bit because I was looking at some of the other videos, but again, we still don't know what happened. Apparently, Jonathan called 911.
Yeah, I did hear that today.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Jonathan called 911 and was like, there was an issue. They were at some bar in Brooklyn, and then they took a cab. Again, Jonathan Majors and every A-list actor in Hollywood, whether you are Black, white, and indifferent, why are you taking cabs? Like, you're A-listers at this point. I'm taking a car service. But that's that's neither here nor there.
That cab ride might have saved his life.
True, because they got video. They got video of it now. Hence why she recanted.
And they had the cab driver's testimony as well.
Yeah, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, women, men, we don't know who that man was texting, what female he was texting. He is Jonathan Majors, about to be A-lister. Like, even if he was, texting some side piece, have some self-respect about yourself. Don't try to be, necking over there looking at his phone and then want to grab it. Because when the story broke, I was like, as a woman, I'm like, this motherfucker was on his phone creeping, and she got a whiff, and she's like, let me see that phone. And she probably reached for it, and he's like, oh, get pop, and she probably slapped him, and he probably grabbed her ass by the neck piece and was like, bitch, stay in your fucking lane. Know your fucking role. That's what happened. I don't think he fucking beat her up. But now that, as I say, that's a big but, because now all the roaches are coming out. You've got people that he went to Yale theater school with, people that he's worked with in the industry that are calling him a sociopath and he was an abuser. And I'm like, how in the wake of Harvey Weinstein and the Me Too movement, how do you let this man, if in fact it's true, how do you let him get to a level of A-lister when you've been saying this, that he's some sociopath and some abuser and, he ain't shit? I don't understand it. I'm trying to reserve my take on it. I just want to see I just need to make sure that before I start throwing daggers at this man, at this black man, because I'm gonna protect this black man until everything is out. I just want to make sure that we see everything and hear everything, and I want to see the video. I want to see the video in the cab.
I still want to see everything too, and I get what you're. I thought when I read, I'm sorry, people, if my phone is tilting.
It is what it is.
I'm trying to keep it straight. Okay, I'll keep talking. But the sociopath part was really shocking to me, because that's a very strong word,
right?
To call someone a sociopath. Now, the things I read from like his theater group and other people who have worked with him, they said he has never been physical, but he is, very verbally abusive. And I'm not making up excuses for him, but again, I know how white people specifically will say that we can be aggressive when we speak up for ourselves. So is he verbally abusive because he might speak up for himself? He might like a thing a certain way, or like I have a friend, not a friend, but someone I know went to law school at Yale with Michelle Obama. I love Michelle Obama. He described her as being very stuck up, kind of hoity-toity or whatever. And I was like, was that because she just didn't speak to you? He's like, no, it was just her whole attitude. I don't get that vibe from her. I don't know her. I didn't go to school with her or whatever, but I know other Black people too have been described in the same way. And then you get to know them and you're just like, is it because that person is standing up for themselves? And a lot of times I would really like to see these people who are saying like, oh, he's a sociopath, or oh, he's like really, abusive. And verbally abusive and physically abusive, two different things. Right. Both of them are bad. And, verbally abusive, sometimes I think people can say that's worse because it lasts stays with you for a longer time. But that's what I'm waiting out, because I just don't see, just in interviews that I've seen him in or whatever, and I could see him maybe having a strong presence. And people being intimidated by that. So I don't know. Sociopath is a very strong word, in my opinion, to use. And I would like clarification from people he works with that I know, like Michael B. Jordan. How was he? Tessa Thompson. How is she? How was he with you on set? I would like
and Journey Smollett with Lovecraft Country. Let's listen. And bring that shit to the table.
Those people who are saying these things, you're like, Yale Theater Group, where are they in this prison? They might not be as big as him, and that might be the right time to just attack him, because you might be a little bit jealous of his success, because he's blown up.
That's it.
He's blown up. The other thing is, like you said, with the phone thing. I mean, dudes, women, if you are cheating or whatever, just, I don't know what to say about the phone thing. I've grabbed a phone or two, but it's like at the end of the day, that's that person's phone.
Yep.
I'm not going to fight you over it, whatever. At that point, I'm going to be like, oh, suspicious because, oh, somebody called you were acting suspect. Who was it? I'm not hearing an answer. Okay, I might have an attitude about that. So if you're upfront and obviously he wasn't, then there's nothing you can do. You can't. But there's alcohol involved as well.
That's right.
They just left the bar. So
Yep.
She was feeling froggy, and she wanted to know who this person is. Maybe he's been cheating on her before. Third, if she said these things and they're not true, you can never be with this woman again.
No.
Because even though he called the police, you told a fabrication or you exaggerated because you were angry. It could have been he grabbed your wrist to, don't touch my phone, don't slap me or whatever. It could have been a situation like that. And even though he called the police, you chose to go into details about something that didn't actually happen. Mm-hmm. Can't be with her no more.
No,
so it's unfortunate because I really do like him as an actor. Mm-hmm. And I would hate, we don't, like you said, we don't know him, so it's hard. You kind of like make an image of people who you don't know based on like a interview and him being on an award show or whatever. I would hope not. I mean, he definitely is talented, has a great road ahead of him, but I hope not. I mean, Army already dropped him.
Yeah, I was going to say it's already affected him money-wise because the United States Army has dropped his commercials or his endorsements. All I'm going to say to this is when he first blew up, with the Creed 3 thing, and he was making the rounds on the interview set, I'll be the first one to admit, I didn't see a level of authenticity with him. He was doing these interviews and he was coming out with his little teacup that he carries. And I'm just like, bruh, what's with the teacup? Every interview, he comes out with his teacup and every interview is like, oh, we provide you with water in a cup or whatever. He's like, but you carry your own teacup. And he's just like, oh, he's got his pinky out and he's like, well, this is how I am. And I'm like, bruh. But here we are. I digress on that one. I'm going to take that out. But even when they were asking him questions, his answering, I just didn't feel him to be authentic. Having said that, I don't care who you are, Jonathan Majors, as a fucking person. As a fan, I just need you were a great actor in Lovecraft Country. I haven't watched any of the Creed movies. I'm not a big Marvel fan. Sorry, Shahidah, don't stab me in the neck because I just ain't into that. So
because I'm looking forward to him as Kang.
Right. So for me, the only time that I've had privy to him as an actor was Lovecraft Country, and I fell in love with him because his acting talents are out there. He's a good actor. And I've seen scenes from Creed 3 from him acting, and I was like, makes me want to watch the whole series, but I really don't because I'm old enough to know. Listen, I don't want to relive Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not watching that. Because for me, it's the black version of Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And been there, done that. I'm good. And so, but I appreciate that man's talent. But I just, in his interviews that he's given, I'm just like, there's something off with this dude. Not thinking that he's a sociopath or that he's like, he's an abuser. I'm just like, there's just something not genuine with him when he's given these interviews. He was on Tamron Hall, and I'd like to think that with Tamron Hall, if you're a black actor or a black actress or black anything, and you showing up to Tamron Hall, you're going to give Tamron your most. And he just sat there with his little teacup, and he's just like, and the only time he showed emotion is when she surprised him with his Yale. I think it was no, not his Yale. Was it his high school? It was either his high school theater coach or Yale theater coach, a white man that believed in him from day one. And that was the only time I saw emotion from him. That he was really like, choked up, like, oh my God, I can't believe you have this man here that believed in me, and she surprised him with it. The rest of the whole entire interview, I was like, okay, Jonathan. But I don't care. Because again,
I haven't seen a lot of interviews.
Yeah, because here's my thing. I don't care. Here's my thing. I don't care because at the end of the day, all I need you to do, Jonathan Majors, is entertain me by giving me a bomb-ass fucking acting series on a movie or a TV show that I like. I'm not your friend. I'm probably never going to meet you. But now that I'm seeing all this shit coming out, I'm like, damn, I hope that brother ain't really like that.
No, I definitely hope that he's not like that. And I hope that it's exaggeration. I hope that it's like petty jealousy or something. I mean, for her, we just know it was she's caught up in her feelings because she feels like he might have cheated on her. But yeah, I mean, the thing that I really hate about these kind of situations are the internet beefs between black men and black women. And the first thing anybody says, shouldn't been dating a white woman. Okay, neither here or there. But then black men are, and granted, he's dating a white woman, but black men are attacking black women because women always do stuff. They specifically say black women always do stuff like this, which is not true. But and then so there's these online beefs about like just wait and see. Wait and see. It will take a few days. I agree. I'm not the one that's going to always say that when a woman says that she's been abused or whatever, that I'm not going to say she wasn't abused, but I'm not going to say she wasn't either. I want to wait and see in a lot of situations, because in a lot of situations, people, especially some people, men have gotten killed, children have gotten killed over lies that people tell. So I just kind of wait back. I'm gonna wait. So I think we should just all wait and see what happens. We don't need to be fighting amongst ourselves over somebody that we don't know. That's for sure. No. So we definitely have to wait and see.
And another thing that bothered me, it's like, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to put it out there. It's like when Jonathan Majors was on his high, which he still is on his high. Let's not take that away from him. He's still on his high. But when he was doing these photo shoots with his little pink jacket, and he had the photo shoot with Michael B. Jordan where they were hugging each other, black men in particular were the most vocal about this is the narrative that they're showing. Maybe it is. But at the end of the day, why couldn't it just be two brothers? And Michael B. Jordan said it. Michael B. Jordan specifically stated Al Pacino and Robert De Niro have amassed a fortune on making movies with them two in it. It was always them two. He's like, I want to do the same thing, but with Jonathan Majors. We're going to keep doing this. And I'm like, I thought that was brilliant, because I'm like, great. Why, if they can do it, why can't we? But here we are with black men that were like, oh, they did a photo shoot. Jonathan Majors did a photo shoot with this pink thing on, which was obviously after a arcade or some sort of character that he posed for. And then him and Michael B. Jordan did a photo shoot where they were kind of like embraced with their heads together, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm like, why can't that just be just love? Like respect and love. There was not, I looked at the photos and I'm like, for me, there was nothing dirty about that. But now you're like, black men are like, oh, they basically like went in on them for that. And now that Jonathan Majors has got hemmed up supposedly by his white girlfriend, I'm gonna do this in quotations because we don't know if that's the woman. But
no, it said it was the woman.
Yeah, but it
said it was her.
Until I see the video, I'm gonna be like, quote, 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 because yo, I ain't got that kind of money. I ain't got settlement money. So I'm like, now these same black men are like, this is what you get. Because you're dealing with the white man and you're dealing with the white woman and that. And I'm just like, really?
Oh God,
I mean,
yeah.
You know me, sis. Normally, I'd be that bitch saying that shit because I'm like, here we go. You get to a certain level, you're with a white woman, and then you're all the way up here, and she might be feeling some sort of way, and you guys get into an argument. And now she's going to call the police and cry her white tears because that's what white women do best. But I was like, I'm going to let that one go. Because at the end of the day, I don't know how this story plays out.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious.
We're just going to have to wait and see.
I'm just curious to have to wait and see. And I really hope, and apparently his attorney is a beast. And she's a woman.
That's what I was saying. Whoever he has.
I'm going to need her to release the video from the taxi cab. And I want that taxi cab driver to be interviewed. I want to see all of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I think they already interviewed the taxi cab driver. I mean, they were on it like lickety split. I mean, by Sunday afternoon, it was a whole kind of like retraction to that story. So we're going to have to wait and see. So, all right, let's move on from them. I do want to say one other thing before we get into our topic. Swarm did not like it. Did not like it.
Of course you did.
I was like,
of course you didn't like it.
It wasn't. You know what it was? It was just pure crazy. It was just too crazy.
Girl.
I honestly did not finish, so I'm going to watch the end of it, but I've been forcing myself. Like, I'm on her. The killings were it's like, girl, seriously? This is just too much. There's no mystery or anything to it. Just a serial killer.
No, but it was on point for me because, girl, you are, take your blindfolds off, okay? Take your blindfolds off. Because we know you are. Everybody that knows you are part of the beehive. Okay,
I am a Beyonce stan.
Yes, you are.
A Whitney Houston stan. Those are the two entertainers.
Listen, I like Beyonce. About. Don't get me twisted. I like Beyonce and I like Whitney Houston. I like Mariah Carey. I like Vanessa Williams. I like who the fuck ever. But at the end of the day, this shit has gotten out of hand. Where you've got this. I
agree that some of her fans, but it's not just her fans; it's everybody's fans who have like really die-hard fans.
Come on, crazy. Come on.
You don't think
Beyonce? You know the Beehive. The Beehive is the top of the worst. Of the stand, the toxic.
I don't know. Nicki Minaj's fans are brutal too.
I can't. Oh Lord, I'm gonna have to. Oh, I can't believe I just said that.
Nicki Minaj's fans.
They gonna come and burn my house down. No, I'm sorry.
Let's not talk about Rihanna's fans because I was one of hers.
I get
it. No, I just didn't like I'm not a big killer type. That's not my genre, really. You know, I like a good thriller, but this is just straight out and I thought the girl who's doing it, she's excellent. I love her.
Yes.
You know, and I do think that they have some like good characters in there, but the story as a whole is just murder.
Okay.
I need more than that.
Nope. It's classic Donald Glover. For those of you that have not watched Atlanta and don't know the premise of the Atlanta series, you're not going to get it. You got to watch Atlanta and then watch Swarm, because then you'll get it.
I've seen all of Atlanta and I love Atlanta.
But I'm saying, with regards to Swarm, I think, of course, they took it a little too far with the serial killings. But at the end of the day, come on, Shahidah. Beyonce, the Beehive, yeah. Nobody can go on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Can't nobody go online and say that shit was real. When that bitch was on there and she got her little, the buzz, 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 the little buzz, 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 little fucking acknowledgement because of everybody that said, I'm not a fan of Beyonce. When I watched that series, I was like, yo, I was on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'm not on Twitter anymore, but when I was on Twitter, I was like, I'm with y'all. I'm not that. I like Beyonce. Don't get me wrong. I like her music. I like her. I like everything, but I'm not a stan. And I could say she's overrated and I like her music, but I ain't putting her up there like that where I'm going to worship her.
Beyonce.
Here we go. Now you're going to come to my house tomorrow and cut my head off, bitch. Won't you show up to my house tomorrow and say, who's your favorite artist?
Then I suggest you take it down now. No, sir.
Here we go. See, you can show up to my house tomorrow and be like, who's your favorite artist? But I think, here's the thing. We're older. Like, we're middle-aged.
Yeah, that's true. That's
when you're dealing with impressionable young minds that don't know any better, and they're in this culture, this stan culture of Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez. Listen, Selena Gomez just had to come out and put a post on Instagram to tell people to stop fucking giving death threats to Hailey Bieber because it's been a beef.
About that though. Hailey Bieber started the crap.
I get it. But at the end of the day,
Selena now.
No, but at the end of the day, if you're going to start something, it should never get to that point where now we've got
from people who don't even know you.
That don't know you.
Especially from people who don't even know you.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know you.
Crazy.
I
get it. Your message is 100%. And what your point about us being older, like I do consider myself a serious Beyonce fan. I'm a Darth Vader fan. You see all the Darth Vader stuff I have in my house.
Bitch, you got the Darth Vader head.
Arguing, huh?
I said, you got the Darth Vader fucking robotic head. I'm good. You lost me with that. Here we are.
Don't play. But I'm saying it maybe, no, because there are people our age too that are crazy and obsessed. And I think that's the thing we have gotten to a point, we're just a mentally ill country anyway. I mean, if you're that obsessed about a celebrity, like I love Beyonce, love her to death, but I'm not paying $700-800 to go see her. But there are other people who say they love her and they don't care. They're paying it. I don't need to go and see her. But other people feel they need to be in her presence.
They have to be
That's
there.
My girl.
These are the people that are going out and fucking applying for lines of credit. When you have to go and apply for lines of credit to go to see a show, here's what I said. Here's what I said the other day when I went to go get my nails done. Because my nail technician, who I love dearly, he bought his tickets to go see Beyonce. And I said to him, when he confirmed that he got the tickets, and I was like, all I'm going to need you to do, and everybody around this country, is all y'all going to be in these stadiums all over the country and all over the world. And my black ass is going to be sitting at home watching the Beyonce concert on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Because I know how you kids are. You kids are going to have your phones up, taking all the videos. So I'm going to see Beyonce's Renaissance tour for free. And he was like,
well, let me make one correction.
Wait, let me finish. He's like, you are right. He's like, he's like, now that you said that, he's like, when I go to Beyonce's concert, I'm going live. He's like, I'm going to go live on Instagram. He's like, and I'm going to text you beforehand, and you're going to watch the concert with me. And I'm like, and you just paid like what, $800?
Okay, I did tell a small lie. The only reason I didn't get a ticket is it was a process. I don't have time for processes. I have a attention span that is very, very short. And if it's not simple, select your ticket, boom, 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 and you got it, not sign you up on a waiting list. I don't have time for that. That's the only reason. If it was simple, I would have just did it. And it was simple, but I just didn't have the patience. But anyway, let's move on. I'm not liking Swarm. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna swim, especially since I found out that Malia was one of the writers on episode 5.
Yep.
So I'll do it. But yeah, I know it's.
I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was a great series. I didn't take any offense to it, or I didn't take it personal. I thought it was good. I got the message. When I watched it, it was over the top. And I'm going to end it saying, I got the message, because there are people out there. Listen to me. This isn't just Beyonce. There are people out there that stand hard for who they like. And actresses and actors, musicians have died over this shit. Like gotten killed by their stalkers. And I'm just like, when this has to stop. Okay, I'm done.
That's the thing, though. That's a whole nother topic, and and a whole nother discussion, because, like I said, there is serious mental illness here in our country. Look at the shooting yesterday, and I'm not gonna go into that, but this woman went to this school. She's a trans. We would rather storm the Capitol over a lie than storm the Capitol to get them to do something about guns that stop killing. These people don't care about our kids. We are sick. And I'm not including myself in there. But as a country, we are sick. We have a lot of mental issues.
Take that we out of this. Because at the end of the day, the United States. I'm not saying this, we are sick and we have a problem. Right. We are problematic. No, this country and this government is sick. It ain't us. It's this government and the politicians of this world, these people that so-called claim to run this country, that are fucking everything up. And they've poisoned people's minds. And now you've got people, they would much rather take books out of schools. They don't want to talk about history, the accurate history. They don't want to listen, to each their own. If you're a gay man and you are married and you have children and you want to take your children, or you're a straight person and you want to take your children to the library or to the friggin' drag queen show place and have drag queens read your children books, that's on you. I don't give a fuck about that. I may not agree with it, but I am in no position to tell you no. I don't have children. When I tell you right now, Shahidah, you know my shit. I have never in my natural life been so happy to not have children. Period. Yeah. Because this shit in Nashville, it's I saw it on the news, and I'm that person where I'm like, I watch it and I'm just like, wow, that's sad. I'm so desensitized to it Because it's all the fucking time.
All the time. And nowhere else in the world.
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 We're supposed to be the best. We are sick.
No, we're not sick. This country is sick. And these people, these white supremacists that rule this country or supposedly want to be in this power, they are the sick ones. It's not us. It's not us. It's these outliers that want to keep that white supremacy control. They're the ones that are sick. And this is why kids are continuing to be killed. I'm done when it happens in your backyard. I'm done with saying, "Oh, things will change when it creeps up on your backyard." We're done with that.
It's been in their backyard.
It's been in their backyard. These are white kids, majority of white kids and white people that are going into schools and killing their own. If you don't give a shit about these white fucking murderers and terrorists, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
But you want to tell somebody not to have an abortion.
That's it. And not read not read books. That don't make no sense.
Or tell Rosa Parks' race. It's absolutely insane. Well, that's another discussion. I don't even know how we get to shooting your shot after. We're all worked up.
I'm worked up, but we're gonna shoot. Listen, everybody. I'm sorry. It is what it is. This is the world that we live in right now. So I really want to. Next week, we're gonna table this right now. I want to talk about this next week. But let's go to shooting your shot. Come on.
Woo!
Come on.
Okay, should we breathe? Like everybody, even those who are listening, just
everybody breathe in, exhale. Next.
Woo. That was a lot. We good?
Because don't make me go out there and swarm a motherfucker right now. Because I'll be like that bitch on Swarm and be like, hey. What? Hey!
We breathe that for a reason, Tanya.
I know I did. I breathe it. Now, see, I'm like that bitch on Swarm. I'm all sweaty. Okay, go on. I'm gonna breathe it. Go on. Talk.
On me.
Be quiet. I'm be quiet. Talk about it, and
we are talking about shooting your shot because we know two single women dating is not for sissies. It's not for chumps. There's a method to this. And there's a new method coming up because the norm is that a man approaches a woman and they go on from there. But I don't know. When did jumping in the DMs start? Where women just started jumping into the DMs and saying, hey, shooting their shot. And I respect it. I don't know if I could do it. Do you like to be chased? Do you want to be the aggressor? Do you want to be the person that, ask a man out? Don't shake your head. I think we, especially older women, our age now who are single and, because they tell you, you can meet somebody in the store, or you can meet somebody, at a gas station or whatever. But how do you meet that person? If you make eye contact with somebody, you just got to wait for them to say hello to you. Do you not say hello first? I do. How do you shoot your shot?
I do. Here's my thing. I will not shoot my shot. Here's my thing that I don't like. I don't like people that stare. And I have been, as you know, I've traveled for work and I've been in airports, friggin' 4 to 5 times a day. 4 to 5 times a week, every week for like 4 or 5 years, 8 years, whatever. And I've seen people, or I go to the store, even when I'm home and I go to the store and I'll be just walking around aimlessly. I don't like starers. They creep me out. So here's what I do. Mm-hmm. If I'm in the store, or if I'm in the airport or on a plane or whatever, or a hotel, whatever, if I encounter a man that whether he's attractive to me or not, if he's literally staring me in my face, and I make eye contact with him, and he's just like, I immediately am like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? That's it. I always say, hey, how you doing? And I keep it moving.
So nothing has ever come out of that.
Nothing has ever come of that.
Just giving a greeting because, okay.
Because it shakes them. Because when I do that, it shakes them. Because a lot of them are like, they're, men are men. They're all in your mouth. And then when I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they just do, this is what I get. They keep on walking because I'm like, here we are. Like I looked you dead ass in your face and said, hey, how you doing? And you kept it moving. You don't want to make eye contact with me no more. And you're keeping it moving. Okay, then don't fucking stare at me. I will say this. I am not a shoot.
I'm not quite where I was going.
So what I'm about to say is I'm not a shoot my shot person. I am a traditionalist in the fact when it comes to male female relationships. I'm a traditionalist. I would like to have a man, if I'm out and I make eye contact with a man and a man makes eye contact with me, I want him to be the initiator. I'm not comfortable with shooting my shot and making that first step. I'm not saying that I would never do it, but I'm just saying it's not comfortable for me to do it.
But what I was saying, I get it. I understand. But I feel like once you get over 50 and your dating pool kind of like, it's not the greatest, because a lot of men who are 50 are probably, in relationships already. You would hope that they would be in relationships already. So there's a certain vulnerability that you have when when you approach a person that you are attracted to, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a stranger, because my biggest thing is like shooting my shot with someone I already know. Like, that's probably more so where I would go. I wouldn't, even though I have been like approached by just like you in the airport. To me, an airport is a great place to meet.
Oh my God, it's the best place.
It is if you just feel lonely, just go to the doggone airport
and walk around.
If you have a ticket somewhere and just have like a layover and go to a bar or a restaurant, you should basically have a good time, because it is people. I have met people from around the world, and we still stay in contact. I
agree.
Not dating, because if you're living in London or you're living in like Cardiff or someplace, I can't like run back and forth. You're not running back and forth, but we have a good friendly relationship. And I met a lot of people, at the airport. But there is a vulnerability and shooting your shot, I feel, or approaching a man when you already know them, but you're feeling some type of attraction and you're trying to judge and figure out, like, does this person have the same kind of feelings for me, or would I be messing up our friendship if I approached him any type of way? I'm sorry about my phone. If I approached him in that way. So that's the thing I want to kind of expand on, like, how do you approach or talk about is how do you approach somebody that you already know?
Okay.
Like, would you?
I haven't done that. But okay. I mean, me, you, and Chris have already had this conversation. Y'all know how I am. I've kind of like taken myself out of the dating pool, because I'm just like, you know what? I don't have the energy anymore I don't want to waste my time trying to get to know somebody and try to work it out, and then it doesn't work out, and then here we are starting back at point one at the age that I'm at. You know what I mean? But what I don't have a problem with is telling people how I feel about them. I always like to look at I'm not going to shoot my shot to a stranger. Let me just say that. I'm rewinding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to shoot my shot to a stranger. I just can't do that. But if it's someone that I know that I have like feelings for, I'm crushing on or what have you, and we're there, and he's not, coming to the plate, I will shoot my shot. And I will take that moment to say, hey, I'm like YOLO. Because you know what? You only live once at this point.
Well, that's bold. That's really good, though.
And at the age that I'm at, like we're at a specific age, we're middle 50s. And it's like, for me, I would, if I know you, I'm gonna, and I have a feel, I like you, and I've established feelings for you, and you're not just giving me nothing. I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna just go full on YOLO and say, hey, I like you, da 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 da, and I'm gonna sit and wait. And if he doesn't reciprocate, then we're good. We can still, I am good with still being friends and still being friendly with you. Even though I didn't reel you in with my shoot my shot. I'm not going to throw away the friendship that we had or the cordialship that we had because you didn't reciprocate to my romantic feelings for you. At the age that I'm at, I'm not going to throw that away, because especially if we've had a good bond, I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm.
Strangers, I'm very traditional. I can't. I need a man, even if we're friends and we're strangers, not strangers, but we know each other, but we don't know each other that well. You know what I mean? Or strangers. You're going to need to initiate that shit, because I will never do that. No. I could be in love with you, but I will never.
But I think women have the advantage of shooting their shot without it being so obvious. Because I'm thinking, like I was gonna say, oh, I never did that. And, especially with a stranger, I would never approach a stranger. But there is a way that I have approached strangers. Not, like if I'm at a Dunkin' Donuts or something in a line, and I'm complaining about something, and then I'll turn to the back, and I see somebody that's kind of like attracted to me or whatever, and they're whatever. I don't have a problem, like you just said, starting a conversation. And then if you see that person kind of like regularly, even though you don't know them, but you start to see that person regularly, then I find it easier to like kind of like go in and maybe be a little bit more flirtatious than I would with the person, so that's why I feel like women, what we kind of like have that advantage if we wanted it. I mean, it still puts you in a vulnerable situation and you can get shot down. I don't think I've ever been like direct with someone like, oh, I like you, want to know if you wanted to go out. I've never done that. And that's where I would like to be, if I was, single, go that route.
Mm-hmm.
I just find that I'm liking the idea more and more when I hear stories. And I would love if any of our listeners, if they have any stories where they actually, took that leap and jumped into somebody's DMs. How did that work out for you? I mean, considering we never really have done that, I would love for our listeners to come back and tell us, like, how that worked. Tell us the story and, come back, because I really feel it's really going forward where people are not as social. You're not meeting people out as much as you were before, because a lot of people are doing remote work, so people are working from home. So that's where everybody I've ever pretty much so dated, except for my ex-husband, who was from high school, and then everybody else was work or school. Work or college. That's it. So no, I agree. I'm interested to find that out,
because I've been working
a level of confidence.
Yeah, I've been working from home for the better part of 15 years now. Way before the pandemic, I've been working from home. And then the pandemic just sent it to a whole nother level because I'm working from home. And now I'm like, I ain't really leaving my home. So it's like, I have been the butt of jokes where people have been like, people in my family have been like, you need to get out there and, you know, mingle and do whatever. They're like, because they're like, you should be in a relationship. And I'm like, I'm good. And they're like, well, that motherfucker ain't gonna walk up your street and ring your doorbell. And I'm like, well, maybe he could. You know, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, y'all. Hey, I'm here. Just, you know, come ring my bell. Y'all don't know where I live.
The sky.
But it's like, I'm not the person to have this conversation about shooting your shot because I don't want to date anymore. I'm over it. I've already retired. Me and you and Chris have had this conversation. I'm retired. I don't, in this stage of my life, like I don't want to get to know anybody because, I mean, as much as I'd like to, let's not get this shit twisted. As much as I'd like to, my thing is, I'm at an age in my life where, you know, I don't want to go through these motions. And then 3, 4, 5 months, a year down the road, it's like, oh yeah, this isn't going to work out. I look at it, and that's me. That's a flaw of me where I'm like, now I've just wasted. This is time that I'll never get back in my life. And I have been doing. I
was just going to say, it's getting to know somebody still is never time wasted. Because remember, we talked about this last week when we listened to that woman who was like, 5 years of my life I wasted. And the judge was like, you know, no, that, you know, you spent time with somebody that you enjoyed their company. It didn't work out the way you wanted. And even if it's 3, 5 months, it might not work out with the way you wanted it to, but it's not wasted. Because what would you have been doing regardless? I
would rather do nothing. That's where I come from. I'm not, listen, I ain't trying to associate myself with a girl that was begging that man to
No, you're not in that
marry her. I'm not
I'm just saying the 5 years. I'm just saying,
for me, part. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not even going to go there at this point. So that's why I took myself out of the game because I was like, I don't want to put my emotions in trying to get to know somebody. Because as we all know, dating is a fucking glorified job interview. Let's not get it twisted. Everybody brings their perfect self to the table. When you meet somebody and you get on, you have a good conversation, whether you're at the bar, at a restaurant, at a club, or online, whatever. Everybody brings their good face to the table. And then when you sit down with them at the table in real life, everybody brings their good fucking job interview face and they give the perfect answers. I've been there, done that. I've done it. I'm guilty. But I'm like, I'm over that. I don't bring your real 100% ass authentic self to me.
But I think if you or any person that's out there, you know, our age, like you said, we're not about the pretense anymore, you know. So when I do come to a table, I'm bringing you Shahidah who she is when she's with her friend Tanya.
Yes,
I might be scaled back a little bit because I don't know you like that, but I'm still bringing my authentic self. I'm not trying to pretend to be anybody else. I'm not trying to pretend my job is glamorous. I'm not trying to pretend I have, like, you know, the perfect children. I'm not pretending on anything. I'm bringing you because if I want to be with you, then at the end of the day, I don't want you to find out that I'm a liar.
Right.
or that maybe I'm a little psycho and a sociopath and put out one face when I'm actually another. So I think when you get over 50, and that is probably one of the saving graces of getting older, is that you don't feel the need to pretend anymore. So it can be a whole different ball game for women and men over 50 because you are kind of tired. Now, the thing too is, there's other women out there, and it can be a competition to a point, so you really have to just be who you are, because then you want that other person to accept you completely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
I agree. It is. It's one of those things we all should think about, but I do commend people who are out there shooting their shot, making that first move, forgetting some of these norms that we have built up in our head that men have to pursue us. How many men can you probably even think of in your time traveling and meeting people that you probably turned away because you didn't make the first move? And I think about that often, where, I feel like there were a lot of chances when I probably could have made the right move, and I knew the person might be shy, and I didn't do anything. But I think if they really wanted me, they would have did something. But still, I could never know. Never know.
But that part, because at the end of the day, we are a certain age, and if you're interested and you see me, shoot your shot.
But then they can say the same thing about you. If you're interested in
them.
They
can't. They can't say that, because we are of a certain age. We're not these new kids out there in these streets. We come from a different time. So I'm not gonna say me. I am from a time where if you are interested in me, then as a man, then you need to, I can look at you, wink at you, smile at you, say hi to you, do whatever. But at the end of the day, when it comes time to asking out on dates, I'm just old school like that. I just want a man to just be a man and say, hey, we made eye contact, whatever. I'd love to take you out to dinner. Okay, great. That would be me. I can't ask a man. I just can't do it. And that I'm just chalking it up to generations of, our ages. I'm not saying I'm right, and I'm not saying I'm wrong, but I'm just saying I am not asking a man out on a date. These young kids today, these millennials, and whoever the hell else that you call them, I can't even keep track of the names. It's like, I know. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that.
So one of my concerns about shooting a shot is, say you meet somebody and you ask them out and whatever, is that because we are kind of stuck in these like norms where the man is the hunter, so to speak. Am I going to feel going forward in that building of a relationship? Am I going to feel like I have to be the lead on everything? That would be a concern for me. Because if I shoot my shot, like you say, be a man and ask me out, in that doesn't necessarily make a person a man just because they approach you. It's just the norm that we have been taught that, as far as courting goes, the man makes the first move.
Yeah.
But I just feel like if I would want to be able to do that myself. I would want to be confident enough that if I like somebody, to approach them and be able to say, hey, you want to have dinner, and be prepared.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would like totally paying, but
that's a whole nother conversation. Because I'm
very spoiled.
No. At the end of the day, I'm gonna pull your card. Because if you want to shoot your shot, ladies, and you want to ask a man out for dinner, here's the thing. If you want to ask that man out for dinner and he accepts, that entire bill is on you. I am not going to. You would be in the wrong.
You got to do the reach. You
don't have to do nothing. You wanted to play your fucking man position and ask that man.
It's not a man position.
For me, it's a man position. If you want to be that bitch and ask that man out on a date and take him to dinner, then please believe you're going to pay for everything. He's going to show up, and he might pick you up and take you to the restaurant, but you're paying for the dinner because you asked him. Because as a woman,
I would, no problem.
As a woman,
I'm just saying, if that no, let me finish. I'm just saying I would, because if I asked you out, I would pay. But am I going to be the lead forever in the relationship? That would be my concern. Because even though I am saying I feel like we need to like drop some of these norms that we have. There are some things that, you know, work to my benefit that I do like. I like being in that woman position where, you know, you're whining and dining me. So if I shoot my shot, or if a woman shoots her shot, is she forever in that role? And I'm not going to say she's being a role as a man. I'm just saying she's being the lead in that relationship. You know,
well, it depends. It depends on the man that you shoot your shot to. Because you're on, I look at it this way. If you shoot your shot, you invite him out to dinner, that bill is on you. 100%, including the tip. Don't even come out your mouth and look at that man and say, well, I'm paying for everything. Can you at least leave a tip? No, that's not how this works. Because as a woman.
But you don't know how it works because you don't shoot your shot.
I know how this works because I've been out on dates where men have asked me out on dates, dinner dates, and I've gone. And then we get on this so-called dinner date, and then they're like, I've had one guy invite me out to dinner, and then the bill comes, and he's like, oh, here's the bill. Let's split it down 50-50. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not having an argument with him. I will pay my share, but you will never see me again, period. Or the guy that's like, oh, you invite me out to dinner, you pick the restaurant, and then I spoil myself. I don't need anybody to spoil me. I spoil myself. So if you invite me out to dinner, I'm eating what the fuck I want because I can afford it, period. End of story. So if you invite me out to dinner and then the bill comes and you're like, well, I'll pay the bill. Can you at least leave the tip? No, I'm not leaving no fucking tip. You invited me out. This is how this works in my world. Because if I invite you out, I don't give a fuck if you're a woman, man, whoever the fuck you are. Shahidah, if I fucking, Chris too, Chris ain't here tonight. But if I invited you out to dinner, if I called you and said, Shahidah, and I'm not even fucking you. If I called you and said, Shahidah, let's go to dinner tomorrow. I'm just being rude. I'm just being honest, not rude. I'm just being honest, but it was a little rude, but here we are. If I fucking called you tomorrow and was like, Shahidah, let's go to dinner tomorrow. Let's go to lunch tomorrow. If I invited you and you were like, okay, let's do it. I am already in my brain. I'm like, oh, I'm picking the place. Me and my girl, my ace boon coon, we're going out to dinner or lunch or whatever, brunch. I'm paying for that. I got that. I got you. I would snatch that bill real quick. I'd pay it and pay the tip. I don't play like that. I don't like these games when it comes to fucking money and bill paying and dating. And this is why I'm out this fucking game. Because motherfucking men and motherfucking women are just as bad with the whole fucking tit for tat. Oh, I only got wings. Or I only got wings and a glass of water. I ain't trying to talk about me.
I'm trying to talk about me.
No, I'm not talking about you. No, bitch, I ain't talking about you on the low because you didn't do that to me. I'm talking about other people because I've been out to dinner and lunch and brunch and shit with people. Men, even men. I went out on a date. I was set up on a blind date, Shahidah. I was set up on a blind date by a good friend of mine. And I met this man on his date because this brother vouched for his friend. And I showed up on this date. He's like, oh, I think you guys would get along well. And I show up on the date. And bitch, You know how I am. I'm extra. I'm like, I'm going out to eat. I'm going to eat whatever the fuck I want. I'm drinking whatever the fuck I want. This motherfucker was drinking fucking water and a soda, and he had one beer. And then when it came to ordering the fucking meals, he ordered like hot wings. And I'm like, I want salmon. I want the meal. I'm getting salmon with a vegetable and the whole nine. And then then the fucking bill came, and this motherfucker, of course, the waiter puts the bill in front of him, and he's like, well, I only had this. He nickel and dime me. So this is what I did. My black ass snatched that whole ass fucking billfold from him. And I was like, I gave my credit card to the waiter, and I was like, pay the whole bill, put everything. And I tipped, and I fucking paid the bill and tipped him very well. And I fucking left the shit, the receipt, took my receipt, left the receipt. And I was like, I'll be right back. Cause this motherfucker still wanted to talk. This motherfucker still wanted to have a conversation at the table after I paid the bill, after he nickel and dime. And I was like, give me a minute. I'm going to go to the restroom. Oh, the bill was paid. I took my purse and my shit, and I fucking walked out and went to my fucking Jeep and drove my black ass home and called my friend from the parking lot that set me up on this punk ass blind ass date and was like, fuck you, fuck your cousin, fuck your couch, fuck all your fucking shit. This motherfucker showed his whole natural ass. I don't like that shit. I can't do that. Not on a date.
That was a lot.
Not on a date.
Let me get myself together. Okay. I never. We need to have like a bad date podcast because.
Oh, let's do it because we need to have a whole
bad date that have completely turned you off. I did one bad. Well, we'll talk about this on the bad date thing, but no, I get it. I feel that was like egregious behavior from him. That was horrible. Me, if I do ask somebody out, I would, because I feel at that point I'm taking the role that you would take if you asked me out, because I would say 98% of the men that have asked me out, there's never been a question. And I think those 2% that didn't were young. I might have been in high school or but as a grown woman, I've never had that issue. But
bitch, I had that and I was like 49. And I'm about to be 55. Oh, yes, look at my skin, people. I'm about to be 55 next week.
Hey! Looking good. Oh, God, I know it is next week. But, okay, I get it. So, I mean.
So, I don't do well with that. But, you know, when you're with friends, it's a whole different nut. I get that. When you're out with your girls and, you know, other friends or, you know, certain family members or whatever, and you go out to eat, fine. I don't harp on that. You pay for what you ordered. I don't have a problem with that. My thing is I'm not going to be on a date with you and you're going to friggin' nickel and dime me. That's where that's very problematic to me.
I mean, even if, okay, what if he said, let's split it?
No. Okay. If you invited me out, you literally put your whole energy into inviting me out. And I'm like, okay. I
did used to feel the same way, even though I've never had to do a 50-50 split or what anyone, but I'm thinking, I don't, I mean, I'm just putting it out there because I don't know how I would deal in that situation because I'm used to a certain thing. And when I say I'm spoiled, I know I'm spoiled about certain things and how I'm treated by men. I'm spoiled by that. But anyway, I would get if especially young people, even though I don't, yeah, it's complicated for me for other people, because I'm like, I get it if a man is like trying to date you, but he's or just trying to get to know you. So he's trying to get to know you. Let's go out on a date so we can talk and maybe get to know each other. You're not technically dating. You're just trying to get to know that person. So then another person, he might, might see somebody 2-3 days later. So that's a huge expense. So you have that expense at the top of your list every month. This is my going out expense, because this is what you want to do. And that's why I feel men should do, and I feel women should do it to a point too. I don't know how I would feel or how I would handle a 50-50 split in a conversation, because it's just not what I'm used to. But I don't think I would be as angry about it. I don't think I would be that angry about it. I would be shocked, and I probably would not go out with you again.
I'm angry. I'm angry about it, because here, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how many dates you go on. As a man, I don't give a fuck how many women you ask out on dates. At the end of the day, if you're asking women out on dates and your money is funny, then you take them to get a drink. You meet them out at some bar and you're like, let's go have coffee. It doesn't have to be a drink. Let's go meet at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts and have coffee. Okay. If your money is funny and you really want to, and you are that extra that you're inviting all these women out in any given week or any given month, then you pick the proper establishment for it. But what you ain't gonna do for me, I don't give a fuck who the next bitch is that you inviting out. What you ain't gonna do for me is invite me out to dinner. And then,
so if they invited you out for coffee, they pay the coffee bill too.
You better pay the coffee bill. You better pay for my jelly donut. And motherfucker, if you can't afford $6, then I ain't fucking with you. Period.
She said, pay for my jelly donut.
I mean, it is what it is. If you ain't gonna, because I don't do Starbucks. Because after Starbucks fucked up black brothers over, I have been boycotted Starbucks. I will not go to Starbucks. Starbucks ain't getting my motherfucking money after they hemmed them brothers up several years ago, right? If you can't take me to Dunkin' Donuts and sit there like 85-year-old people that sit in Dunkin' Donuts and have a jelly donut or whatever for $6, a coffee or tea and a donut for $6. If you can't afford $6, then you are not in the business of asking me out, period. I'm not
Maybe
coming.
Not dating, period.
We're not dating at all. We're not dating at all. Because if we're in our middle 50s, motherfuckers, we are fucking 55 years old.
I'm just saying, it could be a situation where you be like,
there's no situation.
I don't know you, but I want to get to know you.
No.
Have some coffee.
No.
And you'd be like, you have your check and I have my check.
No. If you can't, if I am willing to get in my Jeep and meet you at Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's, Popeyes, wherever the fuck you want to go, and you can't pay for my fucking little $10 meal, $6 meal, $13 meal, depending on the fast food joint, then we ain't ever, there's nothing that's ever going to become of this. Period. End of story.
So if a guy came up to you, and I'm getting off track here, and said, I just want to go and have a little bite to eat. You want to go to McDonald's? Would you be like, okay with that?
Yeah, if I thought listen, I don't discriminate. If I thought we got on and we had a good conversation, I'll go to McDonald's. Oh, bitch, I likes me a good quarter pounder with cheese and an apple pie. I loves me some McDonald's. I'll go to McDonald's. Hell, I'll go to Popeyes. I'll go to Burger King. I'll go to KFC, Taco Bell, whatever. I'll go wherever the hell you think you deem that you like. I'll be like, okay, fine. But if you don't pay my fucking tab, if you want to fucking double down on me and take me to McDonald's or Burger King or Pizza Hut or Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, you name it, and you come at me when that $14 bill comes and you're like, I just got
McDonald's is not $14.
I know, but still, it ain't 300 because you could take me out to a good gourmet dinner in the South End, and that with the I don't buy drinks, I buy bottles. So if I'm going to sit there and have a good time with you, I'm going to order, instead of paying $14, $15 for a glass of champagne, I'm just going to buy the fucking bottle. I'm going to order the fucking bottle because I'm going to drink it all. I'm saving you money. So for me, if I'm saving you, if you get a bill for like, let's just say $25, we're at McDonald's.
It is smarter to get a bottle than it is to order drinks.
It is a smart. Listen, when you're paying in Boston and New York for a glass of wine or a glass of champagne, it's like $17 to $20, depending on the wine and the champagne that you get. When you look at the fucking bottle menu and it's fucking $50 for the bottle or $75 for the bottle of wine, just get the fucking bottle. Because your bill is going to be through the roof with every fucking glass. Just get the fucking bottle. But if you're going to take me to McDonald's for $25 and the bill comes and you're like, okay, so.
You have to get the medium fry, not a large.
Like, I can't supersize my shit. And then you're going to come at me when the bill comes and say, as we're sitting in the little fucking bench there in McDonald's, and you're like, okay, so I only ordered like chicken McNuggets and like a small Pepsi Cola, and you got the rest. I'm gonna give you $5 and you pay the rest. Motherfucker, I'm walking. We're out. And you will pay. Listen to me. I will pay my portion because I don't ever want to be that person. I will pay my money. But I will look you dead ass in your face and say, lose my number. Never call me again. Don't text me. Don't, if you know where I live, don't show up. Don't call my friends. Don't call my family if you know my family. Fuck all your couches because we're done here. We're done. You're dead to me. I don't like cheap people. I've worked too hard on that
note. On that note, we will end this. We are over an hour.
Oh, we over an hour. Oh, we are.
Like I said,
a good conversation.
She was ill. I want our listeners, if you have any shoot your shot stories, please hit us up on Facebook. Tell us your stories, and we may invite you to tell it on the podcast. I would love for you to tell it on the podcast.
Let's
all right. So on that note, get that large fry, girl.